Hey Candles, welcome to Candela Learnings. This is Akshay, your social science tutor. We are surrounded by many objects, right? A bowl, a water bottle, mobile phones, books. My question is, where does it come from? I know what you're guessing. Shops, right? Okay, now, how do shops get these items? So they are getting all these items from somewhere else. That's for sure. All these items are manufactured by industries and they are transported to markets for your needs. So welcome to a new chapter, manufacturing industries. So first, let's get familiar with the term manufacturing. See, manufacturing means it's a process of creating products by using raw materials. Okay. Now let's study the importance of manufacturing. So the first point is modernizing agriculture. See, farmers need necessary tools, machineries, and technology to increase their productivity and also efficiency. So by manufacturing necessary items for agriculture, they are actually helping in production and efficiency. See, one more thing that you have to note is, apart from modernizing agriculture, they're helping reducing the heavy dependence of people in the agriculture sector. So this will in turn help those people in finding new jobs in the secondary and tertiary sectors. Okay. So the next point is eradication of unemployment. Listen, manufacturing industries itself require a wide range of workers, including engineers, designers, machine operators, and managers. So there is a huge possibility for employment, right? So if unemployment is prevented, that means we are preventing poverty. Okay. Next one is expansion of trade. See, if we export manufactured goods or products from our country to a foreign country, it will bring much needed foreign exchange. So the fourth point is increases country's value. If trade is expanded, it brings foreign exchange. So what will happen? It increases the country's value. The economy will be developed. Okay. Now let's move to another topic. This topic is discussing about the contribution of industry to national economy. So here, as you can see, the total GDP, that is 27%. So these statistics are from the last 2 decades. Okay. As you can see, the share of manufacturing is only 17% out of 27, and the remaining 10% includes mining, quarrying, electricity, and gas. Okay. So let's move to the next topic, that is industrial location. See, don't think about industries. Think about your house. See, everyone plans to build a house in a location which is more favorable to them, like the ideal location. It should be near any hospital. It should not be near roadside, or it should be near roadside, like that. So just like that, even industries look for ideal factors. Just think like this. You have plenty of money with you. And do you think that with all that money you can establish an industry wherever you want? No. There are so many factors which have to be considered. Okay? Availability of raw material, labor, power, market, just like that many. Remember one thing. It's possible to find all these factors, all these favorable factors in one place, but it will be very rare. So what happens? They will try to locate a place where the majority of the conditions are ideal for them. Okay. So after the establishment of industry, urbanization takes place. Okay. Like people start to migrate from their home in search of jobs. So gradually the place will get developed. Okay. But most of the time they try to locate themselves in cities itself, because everything is available in the cities, right? Banking, insurance, transport, like that, many services. So what happens? Industries will start to make use of these services offered by the people and businesses in urban areas, and this is known as agglomeration economies. Okay. Now let's check the diagram. Decision to locate factory at site. See, this is the first and foremost thing that has to be considered to find an ideal location. And depending on this, the rest of the factors will be affected. Okay. See, in order to construct a building, there is a price. This price varies according to the location and the materials used to construct it. Okay. So here you can see cost of obtaining raw materials at site. See, to produce the goods, we need raw materials, right? So we have to obtain them. Sometimes the raw material will be available near the site or sometimes far. So the distance between the site where the industry is located and the site where the raw materials can be obtained should be considered because it will affect the cost. As the distance increases, cost also will get increased. Got it? And also different site have different price for raw materials. Okay. Now the next one is cost of production at site. So in the factory, after receiving the raw material, they start to produce the goods. So the production cost, the manufacturing cost of an item depends on raw material and labor. See, if you go to the city side, the labor charges will be high compared to the village side. Understood? So this also should be considered. Okay. So the next one is cost of distribution of production. So after producing the goods, the product has to reach the market for selling, right? Then only they will get the money. So the distance between the industry and the marketplace is one factor which affects the cost. This is one thing, that is transportation. Another thing is that the price of a product depends on a certain location. If the product is selling in urban areas, the product's price will be high. And on the rural side, for the same product, the price will not be that much high. Understood? Do you know what is the Industrial Revolution? Let's take a small break from the session and talk about this. Listen here. The Industrial Revolution was a period in history. This revolution started in the 1700s in Britain and later it spread to other parts of the world. During this time, people began using machines to make goods instead of making them by hand. This made things faster and cheaper to produce. It also led to growth of factories and cities. This revolution had a big impact on the society, the way people lived and worked. Okay, so you can say this revolution was a major turning point in human history and is still shaping the world we live today. You understood? Now let's get back into the session. Let's study about industry market linkage. Let's study the flowchart. See here the inputs, which are raw materials. They will get transported to factories. For what? For processing. So after processing, they will become a complete product. Okay? And that product will be transported to markets for selling. So after selling, the money that will reach the person who sells the raw material. Actually, the money is distributed in the cycle, okay, evenly. But it's not shown here because it's not necessary to understand how it is distributed. It is just to give the idea that the money is cycling. So this is all about this flowchart. Our session has come to an end. See you all in the next session with an interesting topic. Till then, take care. Bye.